We are going to look at question 9 of the November 2013 paper on the circuit diagrams. A learner wants to use a 12-volt battery with an internal resistance of 1 ohm to operate an electric device. Here we see the electric device. He uses the circuit below to obtain the desired potential difference for the device to function, and the resistance of the device is 5 ohm. When switch S is closed, let's just look at our diagram in full. Here we go. As shown, the device functions as at its maximum power of 5 watt. So what we have here is specifically on the electric device, we've got the resistance of our device, and we also have the power of the device, 5 watt. Right. And then if we look at the rest of our circuit, we will see EMF, which is the capital E, and that will be the value before your circuit has started to work. We've got internal resistance, and then the rest of our diagram shows a parallel circuit, but I've got two resistors in series in the one leg of the parallel, and also two there in series. So be careful when you go and work out the resistance. We'll see how they ask us to do this. Right, first of all, let's see. Explain in words the meaning of an EMF of 12 volt. So they don't want you to explain EMF. They want you to explain 12 volt. And now we're not allowed to use volt again. Now voltage is this energy source that we have. And to translate energy, we need joules. So in actual fact, we will have 12 joules of energy transferred per 1 coulomb of charge. It's the charges that flows through your battery that gets energy. So 12 joules per 1 coulomb of energy that is transferred. Calculate the current. And this is now important for you to know your symbols, the current that passes through the electric device. So we're going to work with our electric device only. And we already have the power of our device, 5 watt. We have the resistance of our device, 5 ohm, and we are looking for the current. So let us take a look at our information sheet. So we will be using the power equations. We don't have the voltage, but we do have the resistance. So there's the one we will be using. P is I square R, which is quite easy. P is I square R. So I've got P, 5, I square we are looking at, and we've got the 5 there. So divide by 5, and the square root of 1 remains 1. So we have a current of 1 ampere. Now, if we look at this current, it is important to note that if it's the current that flows through the electric device, we are actually having the total current in our circuit. Calculate the resistance of resistor Rx. Okay, so here we have resistor that unknown, but we do have, let's see what we have. We have our total current, which is 1 ampere. And as soon as we have the total current, we can get our total resistance, which will now include the internal resistance. And we have the EMF. So our formula that we will be working with, let's refer back to this one, will be the formula with the EMF in. Because we've got the 12 volts, we've got I, we've got the internal resistance. Meaning if I'm going to use this formula, I'm going to get a value for resistance that will include all of these resistors together. and only then I can go to my parallel formula to work out, here it is, one of the resistors in parallel. Alright, so let's see how we will attempt this one. We will start with E is I R plus R, right? We've got the 12, we have the 1. We're going to calculate the total external resistance plus the 1 that we already have for internal resistance. So I will have 12 equal to, luckily we've got a whole lot of 1s in here, so it's just the external resistance plus 1. If it was any other number, remember to multiply that into your bracket. And then we will have RE is 12 minus the 1, which is the 11 ohms. But now this 11 ohms will also include, let's look at it, parallel plus that 5 ohm there. Now we can see from our diagram that this 5 ohm is in series with the total of parallel. Okay, we need to then first, to get R of the parallel combination, will be the 11 minus the 5 of the device. That will leave us with the 6 ohm. And it's important to note that this is the parallel resistance that I have calculated. Now let's look at our parallel combination. We have the 4 and the Rx in there. So I need to add them together to get the total resistance in that leg. And then I've got the 3 and the 9 in one other leg, 3 and 9. So it actually means that I have a leg with 4 plus Rx there and a 12 here. Okay, so if we now look at our formula for parallel, we will have 1 over Rp. I only have 2 legs, so it's R1 plus 1 over R2. I already know together it's 6, but 1 over R1, one leg of it is 12, plus here we will have 4 plus the Rx. And then I will be able to get Rx. So it is, if we translate it's 2 12s minus a 12 will be equal to 1 over 4 plus Rx. So I will have 112 equal to 1 over 4 plus Rx. And now you can just use your cross multiplication to get 12 equal to 4 plus Rx. And there you go. Rx will be 8 ohm. Yes, quite difficult. Alright, the next question is to now look at what will happen if we work with the switch. Now the switch S is now opened. So the moment this switch is opened, it will mean that my current will now not be able to flow through that part of the circuit. Will the device still function at a maximum power? Write down yes or no and explain the answer without doing any calculation. So let's just see what is going to happen to my circuit if we open the switch. The moment the switch is opened, then these 2 resistors will now not play a role. So I will only have the 5 ohm in series with 3 and 9. So the moment we take out our parallel, then the resistance increases. And if the resistance increases, the total current will decrease. And then if you look at your formula for P is I square R, and we have our current decreasing, power will decrease as well. So our answer for that question will be no. just take this off. No, and then the explanation will be total resistance increases, therefore the total current decrease, and if the current decreases, the power will decrease as well.
Hey, soek je verder die? Klik hier.